Hello everyone. My name is Ibitamuno Irowarisima, and I go by Tammy. So that's where the confusion came in. Yeah. So I'm a PhD researcher in University of Aberdeen in Dundee, and I'm going to be talking about the role of faith-based organizations in solid waste management in Nigeria. So first, I'll just have a little background about myself. I've got a science background. So my undergraduate is in microbiology. And I wanted to do microbiology because of the cool experiments, the lab work. But down the line, I discovered I wanted to connect more with people and not being locked in the lab. So my postgraduate had, a lot to do with people, environmental management and how to leave the technical aspect of environmental management to focus on the social aspect of environmental management. So this has led me to, prior to this time, I used to teach in colleges and, primary school children, just teach them about waste management. And it led me to wanting to know more about waste management, especially in developing countries. So one of the challenges that is being faced by the world today is waste generation. And you can tell with the way we handle things we buy from the shops. You can go into the shop and then you get a bag. You discard it within minutes of getting that bag. So that's you generating waste. And it's shocking to know that the statistics out there says that each year by 2050, we'll be dealing with about 714 million tons of waste per year. That's you and I generating, a lot of people generating waste per year. The problem now, it's not only in generation of waste. The problem also is that this waste being generated is uncollected. And when it's uncollected, it causes a lot of issues like environmental issues and public health problems. And in managing waste, for those that are not familiar with the waste triangle, this is, the reuse, recycling, and reduce, or reduce, reuse, recycle triangle. And most times what happens is we forget about prevention and minimization, and we go down to recycling. So more people are pumped in. When you mention, waste management, and the next thing you hear is, it's exciting because we're going to recycle. But nobody is excited about reducing waste or reusing it. So it just goes down to recycling. I'm in Dundee at the moment, and I discovered they've got like a whole lot of technical and technological advanced solutions for waste management. We've got like energy recovery plants, and we've got, the incinerators, which is great. For a country that is developed technologically, it's a good way to provide solution. And they've got waste banks as well, which the public, they engage with in this part of the world. And all this can be made possible because they've got a good collection system. So there is no such thing as open dumping, the way there is open dumping in developing countries. In a country like Nigeria, open dumping is very, very common. And, that led me to wanting to know more about how we can stop the attitude of people towards open dumping, or to change the attitude of people towards open dumping. The problem is not only in the policies, the problem is also in people, in the community. We know we want a better waste management program, but then we need to harness what the community they're used to. So in a place like Nigeria, where people are used to religion, for instance, how do you harness what they know? If you go to Nigeria, it's very common for people to go to churches, to go to mosques, to go to the temples. So my work basically is like trying to understand the present role of these faith-based organizations and to see if we can chip in environmental awareness or solid waste management in the present role of the faith-based organization. So from my evidence in the field, this is what we found out, that there's a lot of youth empowerment, which is great. They've got computer classes, they've got sewing classes, and all these are towards the development of the community as well. They've got like a great community outreach where they send in a medical team, for instance, to take care of maybe the sick in the community, because there is also the problem of health. They now try to provide doctors to take care of the sick, which is great, but also I want us to look at the solid waste management aspect of whatever it is we can offer as solution as a faith-based organization. So this is an example of the church outreaches in the community. The first thing we noticed is there is really no age or gender limitation. So it cuts across the young and the old. We can see young people here, they shared the Bible or they shared something. And also we see the women and men here waiting to take clothes. They're waiting to take food items as well. It's cut across, gender, across age. Those things do not matter. And also with the church outreaches, it's long term. There is this continuity you don't get when you're only dealing with the technical solutions offered by waste authorities. So with the waste authorities, after a change in government, they can stop whatever solution they're giving. But then if it's the church outreaches or the mosque outreaches, you see that it's long-term. They don't just stop because there is a change in government. Even if there's a change in the church leader or the mosque leader, it continues. The outreaches are important and they continue. Also, there is the case of accountability and there is an evaluation after each project. So after each project, you go back to the drawing board and you look at it. Oh, how did we impact the lives of people? So this is what I got in the field. If the church can organize themselves this way, that means if they're given the opportunity to handle solid waste management, you're going to see success as well. And the household surveys that we went into the field to get, two barriers that can be harnessed or that can be reduced by involving faith-based organization is misinformation and norms. A funny story or a funny thing happened the other day. There was a picture on Twitter where there were plastic bottles, and then there was a comment where people said, or someone said, oh, this is bad for the environment. And funnily enough, another person commented, oh no, it's okay. It's going to provide jobs for us. And that's not the aim here. The aim is not to destroy the environment, to provide jobs for the informal sector or to provide jobs for people. The aim here is for us to work together. As much as we want to provide jobs for people, we want to ensure that the environment is good enough for the future generation. And also the norms of people. You see how the people are used to open dumping. Open dumping is just a symptom, as I said earlier. We need to tackle the attitude of people. So the norms, instead of people to dump their waste, regardless of the consequences, the church now will go in and handle the norms by proffering knowledge, by giving back to the community. How do we give back to the community? By organizing awareness programs, or by organizing training programs for people that want to be involved in waste management. So this is just a potential role that can be used. There is a partnership that I'm looking at towards the local waste authority and then the faith-based organization. Normally what happens is the local waste authorities make policies based on maybe expert advice instead of going back to the basics, going back to what the community actually needs. Why do we need to change the attitude of people? Not just why do we need to provide services for people, but we need to change the attitude of people so we can provide better services, and they in turn can be responsible for themselves and for the services. And also, this partnership will not only change and bring about better waste management, there will also be participation. There will be better collection. There will be better segregation of waste. That's if you want to recycle. And also, there will be better accountability. People can pay for these services and know that it will be given to them, because that's one of the problems that was identified in the solid waste management chain. There's usually no payment. So because no payment, the hands of the government most times are tied. But if you let the community participate and you let them be responsible for their payment, then I believe it's going to go a long way. So the faith-based organization as well will provide knowledge to the households. There will be an interaction because most of them go to the churches or the mosques anyway. So there will be an interaction, and which will lead to policy change. So in conclusion, I just want to say that the households are like the most important stakeholders and they should not be neglected. So if the proper partnership between the stakeholders is harnessed, then there will be, the success that we're looking for in solid waste management.